Why it's not showing up? My computer is froze, I think. All right. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hello? Something weird is going on. Hello, 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 hello. Testing. All right, so the sound is gone now. What is going on? All right, there you go. Now it should be working. Should be really loud. Sorry. All right, so I had to. All right, I had to go mess with the settings. I don't know why. I think because I plugged in this headphone set, the settings got messed up. But I'm back now, according to everybody. So yeah, today we're gonna talk about. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna go through my tackle box, and we'll talk about some tackle that I like to use in the fall season, since fall is right around the corner. September is coming up, like in the next few days. So I always like September. September is as a lake pontchartrain fisherman, September is a good month. That's when the trout start to move back in. I got an echo. What the? All right, how about now? Is that better? I got some weird stuff going on. Is that better? Or am I done? All right, there you go. What up, Nate? What up, Jordan? What up, Hayes? What up, Mark? Daryl? Who else we got in here? Dan? Is the echo gone? Charles? Did I get rid of the echo? I don't know why the settings changed so much. All I did was plug in headphones. Hello, hello, hello. Am I good now? No echo? Oh my gosh, I'm getting blown up on the text. This must be really bad. All right, here, we good now? What up, John Miller? Is my sound right now? I don't know why it's acting crazy. I sound like Darth Vader. Oh my god. Still sounds weird. Okay, I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry, guys. Maybe I need to restart the program or something. But the echo is still there. What? Hmm. I'm good now? I don't get it. I don't know. Hold on, let's see. But yeah, I was gonna talk about lures that I like to use in the fall pattern. Now that now that it's now that fall is rolling around, as a Lake Pontchartrain fisherman, September is usually a exciting month for me because that's when the trout start to move back in. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but yeah, September is when the trout start to move back in, and they get accessible in Lake Pontchartrain and in the marshes and stuff like that. But so today I was planning on just going through my tackle box a little bit, talking about some lures that I like to tie on in the fall more than any other time of the year. So I guess we'll just get right into it. I don't know. Anybody went fishing this weekend? Anybody got any fishing reports to start off? Well, no, we'll say that for the end when we open the phone lines. We'll let y'all call in and give you fishing reports and stuff. But yeah, I didn't make it out this week. I took the day off yesterday from fishing and working and whatever else I was supposed to do. I didn't really do much of anything yesterday, but I just hung out. And but let's just get right into this. So fall season, there's always going to be a couple different lures that that work year round. The jig head and your jig. Let's see. Let's go in here and let's get something. You just your regular jig head with a soft plastic on it. I don't have a soft plastic on this one. Here we go. Jig head with a soft plastic on it. Oh my God, people just keep going crazy texting me right now. I think they're trying to tell me that my sound sucks. But yeah, just your jig head on the bottom. That's always versatile. You can use that year round. Um, Soft plastic under a popping cork. Soft plastics under a popping cork, and what else do we use year round? Top waters, stuff like that. All these lures are useful year round, but particularly in the summer, in the fall, these lures start to excel at catching trout. Fall and the winter time. Um, in the fall, you're gonna want to start targeting the grass beds. You want to start targeting the mouths of different bayous and stuff like that, where you're gonna get a good falling tide, where the bait is gonna get flushed out of the marsh. So let's just zoom in on I guess this area right here. It's the marsh between Lake Catherine, not Lake Catherine, Chef Pass and the Wrigley's. This is an area where I was doing good last year, this time of year. The end of August and into early September, before I blew up my boat last year, we were doing really well in this area. Um, it contains a lot of the stuff that you want to look for this time of year. A lot of stuff you want to look for this time of year, which is grass and deeper bayous that can carry bait out of the marsh and into the open bays. That's where the trout are going to set up. So so with that in mind, you're gonna in the fall you're gonna start fishing a little shallower. Right now, this time of year, it's still like a transitionary period, so you want to start fishing deeper bayous, not unknown paths, but like bayous like the deeper winding bayous. So like this stuff right here, you want to start fishing the mouths of these and like ones that are actually connected, like stuff like this, the mouths and areas where like there's big bends and stuff right now. That's where you want to fish. But as the fall transitions, you're gonna start fishing shallower and shallower. Um, for fish. So that's when I start to like to start using. I like to start using suspending baits. And one of the first suspending baits I want to talk about is this right here's a DOA shrimp. Let's get it in the camera. This one's kind of nasty and dirty and used, but the DOA shrimp is a really good shrimp imitation. As everybody knows, it's not nothing new. This is a lure that's been around for a while, but this is primarily what the trout are going to start feeding on this time of year. Um, the shrimp are migrating out of the marsh, and so the trout know that, and they're going to set up at the mouth to these areas where they have good tidal flow, and where they have a good tide line and a good ambush point. So yeah, a good bait is a good DOA, and all the other suspended baits. So we're gonna let's see, what other suspended baits do I like to use this time of year? Um, Trout is starting to they're really just starting to move back in right now, Jim. Um, they really start to show back up and start to migrate back inside. I wouldn't say they're in yet, but they're making their way. Um, this is another bait that's really good in the fall. You can fish over the grass beds. You fish it very similarly to the DOA shrimp, which is just like a hovering suspending bait. This is a shadow wrap. This shadow wrap is a slow suspending bait, so it sinks ever so slightly. So when you cast it, it kind of just hovers there, and then as you jerk it, it'll dive a little bit and then just hover right in front of the fish. Um, that is awesome action to have this time of year when the trout are chasing those shrimp. Because if you think about how a shrimp swims, it swims and then it'll pop up. But this bait mimics a shrimp really well, or bait fish, or pretty much anything that the trout are going to eat. Yeah, this cold front we got coming through is going to really start knocking, kicking off the fall season. I think it's going to flush a lot of that bait out and really get those trout into a gorging pattern where they're going to start feeding. Let's see what else we like to use in the. So yeah, so you got your lip jerk baits. Um, this is another variation on a jerk bait. This is a mirror lure. This one I think is actually it stays slow sinking, but it sinks a lot faster than the mirror lure. I mean, than the Rapala bait. This is a slow sinker, I believe. So this is better for deeper water. Um, a slow sinker that's going to work better from like 3 to 5 to 8 feet, whereas that other Rapala shadow wrap is going to work in less than 3 feet. What else we got in here that I like to use in the fall? My all-time favorite bait in the fall is right here. Voodoo shrimp, yeah, voodoo shrimp always works under a popping cork. Like I said earlier, plastic under a cork works year round. That's like a staple lure in Louisiana or anywhere you go. Really, you should have um, a cork rigged up. It's just a deadly presentation when fish are suspended. Um, So yeah, here's my all-time favorite hard bait. This is Miradine. I think this is the Academy. Yeah, this is the H2O Express knockoff model. They all work pretty much the same. All of these shad-shaped baits, they hover. They sink very slowly. You just work them with a quick twitch, pause, let it sink for a while, and then twitch, and just keep working it over those grass beds and those shallow flats and stuff like that. That's always a good bait. But yeah, this time of year you're gonna be looking for shrimp popping. You're gonna be looking for shrimp popping, and you're gonna be looking for birds diving, stuff like that. You can get on some really good bites this time of year under birds. Um, this bait right here, Davis is talking about. This is the unfair shrimp. I've tried it a few times. I haven't caught many fish on it yet, but it's very slow sinking. So I think this it's almost like a subsurface, like almost a top water lure to me, because it just barely sinks under the water. So this would be good when those trout are chasing shrimp on top, popping shrimp up out of out of the water on the surface. Um, so yeah, suspending baits are always good. Um, in the fall. That's pretty much what the gist of this is. I like to throw suspended baits. You want to get over the grass beds like Irish Bayou and down in Hopedale and Delacroix Beach area. Those grass beds really come alive. Once we start getting into later September, uh, yeah, that's when you're going to want to really start keying on this pattern. Right now, in earlier September, the pattern is going to be a little different. They're not exactly going to be stacked on the they're not going to be stacked on the grass beds just yet. They're going to be in bayous like this where they can migrate into the marsh and where the shrimp are going to be getting sucked out of the marsh. So this is a pretty big bayou right here. So if you can find something like this that's maybe, 30 feet wide, 40 feet wide. I still sound echoey. But yeah, you're going to find a nice, pretty big bayou. And it's going to, that's where the shrimp are going to be drawn out on the falling tide. And so you want to start fishing in areas like this early in the morning. That's if you can get a falling tide. I don't get it. Let's try that. Did that help? Mic up to. Hello? Did I fix it now? I think I just fixed it. What up, Gustavo? Pam? Philip? But yeah, so that's a pattern you want to look for right now, early in September, early fall, is fishing those bayous where there's good tidal flow. That's the trout are going to stack up in there. Well, not stack up, but they'll gorge themselves on a good moving tide this time of year. I got it. I fixed it. Finally, okay. I don't know why. I don't know why these other microphones are picking up sound when they're not even on. Ah, yeah. Look at that. I'm a computer genius. Fix my echo while I was talking at the same time. Wait, Dan had a good question. When I'm first starting out in the morning, do I have a go-to plan for which baits I would try first? A particular part of the water. Yeah, for sure. In the morning, yeah, this is a bait I did forget to talk about just now. I just ran through all the other baits, um, which is the almighty top water. That's one of the baits that's going to work year round um, that I was talking about. So you got your popping cork, your top water, and your jig on the bottom. Those are pretty universal lures to use. That's a pretty simple go. 1, 2, 3 to always have tied on when you're fishing South Louisiana is a jig head with a plastic, a top water, and a popping cork with a plastic or voodoo shrimp or whatever your favorite plastic is. But first thing in the morning, what I'm gonna do this time of year is I'm definitely gonna be throwing top water. Um, that is for sure a go-to bait, and I feel like fall is a peak season to throw top water in the morning. The trout really seem to react favorably to a top water action. So yeah, that's definitely gonna be what I'm gonna start off with. But then as the day goes on, you just gotta gauge the reaction of the fish because sometimes in the fall the trout will smash the top water all day long. But other times you're gonna have to start to move down in depth. So yeah, start with your top water. If that ain't working, then I would probably throw a popping cork just to search around a little bit, and then go to one of those suspending baits, a DOA, uh, what's it called? A Miradine, a shadow wrap, or some other type of suspending, a slow sinking jerk bait. Um, that'll be your backup plan, and then you can fish those all day long. But yeah, fall. This is my favorite time of the year. And like I said, as a Lake Pontchartrain fisherman, I used to fish the lake like every day, and I kept a logbook. And historically, in my logbook, when I used to fish the lakefront on the steps, I would catch my first trout on September, that first week of September. So anywhere from like September, well, the second week of September, I should say. So from like September 6th to like the 12th. That would be the day that I would catch my first trout fishing the seawall. So it might be worth going out on the seawall right now and seeing what you can do. The water is amazing right now on the South Shore on the seawall. If you're in the New Orleans area, want to wet a line. Um, I was on this side down towards Seabrook not too long ago. The water there is impeccably clean. You can see like down to the bottom step clean. Like it's crazy. You can see like schools of mullets. There's tons of sheephead right now that are creeping on the wall. If you go buy some live shrimp or some market bait, you could probably clean up on a sheephead right now. But yeah, that's my only fishing experience I had this this week. Is I've been riding down the seawall and just checking it, see what's going on. I haven't even wet a line yet though, but it should be happening soon. Should be going down soon. There might be a few trout to be caught on the seawall. What else we got going on? Now that my echo is going, I could just keep talking. Anybody have any questions? I know I kind of went through that fast. I need to slow down. What else I want to talk about? Who else been catching fish? Who been catching fish? Anybody caught some fish this weekend or this week? Football season starting up. I can't wait. I'm ready for this. Get this last preseason game out the way. Get to the regular season that Monday night. Saints in Houston. Get this Super Bowl revenge tour, whatever we're gonna call it. Get that out the way and go, get back to Miami. Let the Saints win the Super Bowl. What else? Oh, I got a call from my buddy Joe. He stops in every now and then. He said he went down and fished the pier by Bridgeside a couple nights ago. He said he caught like 18 specks and a bunch of white trout. But he said they were in the lights and pretty easy to catch. You just throw like a small crappie jig and just dap it on the surface like over and over again, and those specks were coming up and smacking it. So yeah, that's the way to go if you do that. What else happened? What else happened? I told y'all about the redfish I caught last week. I'm sure that bite's still going on out there. Um, I've been seeing a couple reports, couple cryptic reports about people catching a few trout in this Wrigley's area. Like I said, last year we were catching them on the shorelines of Lake Bourne, in Lake Catherine, on this side like Pearl River area. But the Pearl River's been high all summer, so I don't know if that bite's really gonna heat up like it was last year, because it looks like the Pearl River keeps going up and up. Jimbo caught some hardheads, huh? Man, the messed up part is if you really wanted to catch hardheads, I bet you would go, you probably stunk out. Like they know that you don't want them, and they just keep jumping on the hook. All right, so man, I ran through that really fast. I don't really have nothing else. What else I want to talk about? Some other rigging. Um, I want to talk about we got other ways to fish over the grass. A lot of bass baits that people use. What's that thing called? A wake bait, a lipped wake bait. You can run that through the grass. That's also effective for reds. I don't think I have one in this box. It's in my other box. But yeah, that's also a good lure to use. A man's baby one minus or a they have a couple different brands. Strike King KVD has one, H2O Express makes a good wake bait as well. What's John asking? What is my opinion on smashing treble hook barbs down to avoid injury? I would recommend that because I done got some hooks in my hand over the last few years, and it would have been much simpler to pull a hook out that didn't have a barb rather than uh, rather than having to fight that barb out of my hand. So yeah, and it doesn't. Yeah, to me, to be honest with you, I fished with barbless hooks. When I was living in Maryland, there was like a whole season where if you were striper fishing, you couldn't use a barbed hook, and I didn't see any difference between using a barbed hook and a barbless hook. Um, and we were using single hooks a lot of the times, and we weren't losing many fish. I don't think we lost any fish. So yeah, I don't think there's any I don't know. As a the amount of trout that you catch when you're on a good bite, you might lose one or two trout, but the reward of not having to fight a barb out your hand is worth it. And that's about like when I fish for jacks. I'm fishing. I like to smash the barbs down on these my jack hooks, and it doesn't make a difference. Change all my trebles out to singles. Um, and that's true too. You're right. If you hook a trout in one of those hard areas, it does stick pretty well and makes it time consuming to keep unhooking little trout. Yeah, John Miller is a beast when it comes to like thinking about fishing related problems. He's a problem solver. But all right, so I think we're gonna try and open up the phone line now. Um, I don't really have much more to talk about. Looks like the chat is getting good. We got some good people contributing to the chat. So hold on, let's see if we can get. I think we had Dan. He wanted to call in and give us a report. So let me see if we can get Dan on the line. See if we can get Dan on the line and get this phone line going. Next tournament I'm going to is the next. I think we had Dan. He wanted to call in and give us a report. So let me see if we can get Dan on the line. The next report I want to not the next report. The next tournament. The next tournament that I'm going to be attending is what's the name of it? It's Redfish Rumble. Not Redfish Rumble. Rumble on the River or something like that. It's going to be on September 28th. You can fish anywhere. It's a Bayou Coast kayak tournament. Fish anywhere on either side of the river. So St. Bernard Parish and Plaquemines Parish. Man, some weird man. Okay, let's try that. I'm not gonna be able to hear. My audio is working is acting weird now still.
Call from.
Hello. Okay, let's try that.
Hey Jeff, what's going on? It's Dan.
Hey, what up, Dan? I'm not gonna be able to hear.
Hey.
My audio is working is acting.
Yeah, so I got out there on a Sunday, went down to Joshua's. I'll tell you, like because of the mid-morning tide, I decided to actually make a little bit of a late start. So got on the water around 9:45. It was funny. I went up to the bar in Joshua's to pay my launch fee, and the bartender wouldn't take my money because she said the nastiest weather ever was coming.
Yeah,
she's like, "Oh, the weather's not ready to get so bad. I'm not even going to make you pay." I was like, "Oh, I'm in a kayak. I'm only going right near by the launch and in the harbor. How bad can it get?"
Yeah, that's got to be a sign that the weather's going to be
bad. I'll tell you, so I got out there around 10, and I actually did pretty well as far as avoiding the weather for the first few hours. So my plan for Sunday was I wanted to switch it up a little bit, and I tried to find some sheep's head. So I did some research on that, and they say with the trick with sheep's head is that you need a really small hook. So I went down to the academy, got like a number 1 size octopus hook. Now this sucker, if you can imagine, it's like the actual like kind of circle shape is smaller than a dime.
Oh,
It's a
wow.
real small hook. Yeah, so it's a real small hook. Got some dead market shrimp. I was fishing the pilings and stuff all around the boat harbor, and also those big cement barrels I got all over the place there.
Okay, yeah.
I tell you, like right off the bat, I hooked into a decent black and white striped fish, pulling it into the kayak, and man, that's easy. No, puppy drum.
No,
I
man.
tell you, man, that was the theme of the day. I must have caught like 10 of them. I must have caught like 10 puppy drum.
Wow. So you went out looking for sheephead and you caught the sheephead imposter. Those puppy drum.
Oh, I caught like 10 of them.
So really,
Caught puppy drum. I mean,
that's
I
interesting.
caught everything. I mean, I didn't catch any trout, but I caught puppy drum. I caught redfish on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing, though. It didn't matter. The small hook, it caught other fish, man. I even caught something called a Gulf toadfish.
Oh yeah, we you had sent me the picture of that, and when I saw it, I thought you were talking about something else. But yeah, we call those oyster fish. That's what we always called them when I was coming up.
Ugly.
I haven't caught one of those in years, but I guess if you're using bait, they like that. They like those bait, shrimp.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, though. Is that right when I caught that fish,
Mm-hmm.
I was they got some like rusted out like barge or boat right in the middle of the boat harbor, so I was throwing on that thing, and that's where I caught toadfish. And that was actually about 2 hours into me fishing. And I look up, and that big nasty weather's coming in.
Oh man.
So I ended up just siling up. Yeah, no, man. I'm telling you, it was like Paddlepalooza out there for like a solid half hour. I just threw on my rain jacket.
So you rode it out?
Barge, and like 4-foot rollers were smashing against the backside of it.
Wait, hold up, Dan. You didn't go back in? You just stood out there in the harbor right there?
Yeah, because the waves were coming into the harbor, so I just sat on the backside of the barge and waited for it to blow over because there was no lightning.
Okay, so you just rode it out.
Yeah,
Man,
so I was looking at that. I was like, I don't know how much time I got, so I just like took my little like fishing gloves that I always wear, just grabbed hold of the thing, sat there,
and rode it out.
It's kind of windy.
Wow, that's rough.
Yeah, I rode it out.
I don't know. You braver than me. I probably would have. I would have called it a day once I saw it. I would have hauled butt back to the marina and got out of there. But I don't know. You more diehard than me probably. I'm a wimp sometimes when it comes to the storms and stuff.
Well, I mean that's the thing though. Is like after fishing Paddlepalooza this year, I mean anybody that was out there for Paddlepalooza like saw those clouds coming in. The clouds coming in were not as bad as Paddlepalooza, but it still got windy and was raining hard. So I just figured I could hang tight and I'd be fine, like holding on to the backside of the barge, and it was. Right,
that's good then. So you didn't see any sheephead?
Yeah, I mean then after like several hours of trying for sheephead and a bunch of drum, not a single one.
Not a single sheephead. That's all right. So
I
don't know
pilings, I fished barrels. I fished the barge.
Right. So I don't know. That's weird. So
not a single sheephead.
That's weird.
Like
that's weird
I caught
because
some hardheads. I caught some redfish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Usually it seems like that's prime area. The types of structures that you fished.
Sorry, what did you say?
It seems like that's prime area for the structures that you fish. That concrete and the hard barge and stuff like that. That seems like areas where a sheephead would frequent. So I'm wondering.
Exactly.
I'm wondering why there wouldn't be any back there. I don't get it. You also said you went back in the marsh though, right? Didn't you?
Yeah, I don't know because I was throwing what they wanted.
Right. How's the water quality? Was it clean?
I went after a while. I gave up on the sheephead. In the back marsh, there were some spots where it was clean.
Mm-hmm.
It was shallow enough that I could actually see the redfish chasing bait. And the thing is, there were clouds all day long, and it was like low 80s just because of the weather.
Right.
So the redfish bite actually was all day long. I caught. Yeah, I ran into a school redfish around 3 o'clock, and I could have had 2-3 limits in the boat if I decided to move on it, but I left them alone after
That's funny how that works out. You go to catch sheephead just to kind of, take an easy day, an easy way out, right? And the redfish were biting all day. That's kind of funny. Because if you would have went for redfish,
I tied on a gold spoon, and
it seems like if you would have went for redfish, then they probably would have been missing in action. You probably would have caught sheephead all day. So maybe that's what you need to do next time.
Of course.
Next time, go red fishing, and you'll catch sheephead.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like down Joshua's, I feel
Mhm.
like I've gotten on a pretty good pattern with the redfish down there lately. I've just kind of figured them out pretty well. They like a gold spoon.
Right.
That's one bait
Yeah.
that they really like. They as far as soft plastic though, I've had really good success with like the purple body and chartreuse tail.
Purple. Yeah,
soft plastic.
that's always
Like,
a good producer. For me down there, that water is always
Yeah,
a little.
I mean, there's like a Vortex shed color. There's like a down south lure, kind of like the same color. Both of those have always produced well for me.
Right, that purple with the chartreuse tail, and another color that's good down there is the black with the chartreuse tail. So it's something about those darker colors. I guess with that river water mixing in, it shows up a little better down there. But
Yeah, I mean, I think the Reds also just seem to like it down there because I've seen Reds catch that out of the corner of their eye from like 3-5 feet away and turn for it.
right. Yep, that's all. That's a good fall area. That's going to be heating up once October, September, late September, October comes in. A lot of good red fishing down 23. That tournament that they're putting on is going to be perfect timing to really capitalize on that. But all right, Dan. Thanks for calling in, man. I'm glad maybe you could do like a weekly report for us or something like that. We'll talk about it.
Oh man, you can't put that on me. I'm not that.
Nah,
good.
man. It's not even about fishing though. The way you think about fishing and the ideas you put forth, you always got some good insight and stuff. The way because you're really thinking about it and breaking it down. So yeah, man. I appreciate hearing from you.
Yeah.
We're gonna see if we can get some. All right, Dan. Thanks for calling. We'll see if we can get somebody else come in. Anybody else want to check in? Anybody else got any?
Cool. See you.
All right, dude. Later. Anybody else checking in? Anybody else got anything they want to get off their chest? Let me know. Jimbo says the pilings in Myrtle Grove always have sheephead. So look, maybe that's the spot you should go check out next time, Dan. Up in Myrtle Grove. So you talking about the pilings like at the launch gym, or you talking about pilings like further out into the lake? Man, my phone is blowing up right now. Anybody still here? I think my computer might have froze. I guess nobody can call because y'all don't know the number, right? 534 5040. Yeah, man. Word on the street is that the steps on the lakefront are loaded right now. Actually, I ran into my buddy. He was out there and he was cleaning up, fishing the steps. Basically, all you gotta do is walk up and down. You'll pretty much see him on the step, and you can just drop just like perch fishing or I don't even know, sacalese fishing or something. You just take a cork, run a long leader with a small hook. Pretty much what Dan was doing down in Joshua. You just do it on the lakefront, and you'll catch some speckled trout. Oh, that's area code 504. If you want to call in, 504-534-5040. I wish I had a report to give y'all. I haven't even been out. Anybody got any questions about the fall season? Any recommendations? Where to launch? Where to fish? What kind of lures? Tackle, bait, rigging, anything. What else is something tricky we've been doing in the fall? Fall fishing. Let's see. Let me look through my bag of tricks. Let's see what else we got. But yeah, I can't wait. I think Lake Pontchartrain is gonna clear up in time for the trout run to come through. So I can't wait to get on the bridges Gonna have to stock up on my jig heads and stuff and get out there. Oh, Jim is saying, oh,
Call from John Millie. FxS.
we got the legend in here.
Hey,
What's up, John?
I'm just calling in to be part of this new
Oh,
FishxScale radio show.
yeah, it's like interactive, right? You know, long time listener, first time caller, John Miller.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, we got the expert here. So what you want to talk about? What you want to teach us about tonight?
Well, what about the we got this storm coming
Oh, yeah, okay.
over heading for Florida. It's supposed to be pretty big, Dorian,
Right.
and it looks like it may come into the Gulf. So that could be interesting. You think that'll help us out in September trout fishing?
I hope so. I hope it kind of pushes the shrimp back in the marsh a little bit and kind of delays the migration so we get like a longer fall season kind of, if that makes any sense. I don't know. That's just off the top of my head right now, just thinking about it. But it's bound to help us because we've been plagued with all the the fresh water from the river hanging around. I know that's going to help us.
Well, I think it if anything, maybe it'll help clean out Lake Bourne and
Right.
Biloxi Marsh and that whole area.
Right.
I know there was still a lot of really dirty water hanging in Lake Bourne.
Right. Yeah, we ran out there. I guess last week we ran out there, and it was still dirty, like real milky looking water.
Mm-hmm.
It was starting to get a little clarity to it, maybe like 4 or 5 inches of visibility, but it was still pretty dirty, and the trout weren't in there yet like they were last year.
Yeah.
Last year we were doing really well out there, and this time of year, and it's just not happening. I guess because of the fresh water. Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely gonna flush out the water a little bit. And that's all we can hope for on this side of the river. But it still seems like the patterns in Grand Isle have been holding, and the trout are out there.
Yeah, so I finally got back to St. Bernard Parish. I spent a lot of time over in Timbalere Bay and that, out of Leeville, Grand Isle this summer.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we were out on the Long Rocks, kind of toward the very south end of the Long Rocks, and we were set up there. It was, how many fish do you want to catch?
Oh, really? Wow.
That kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, we don't keep limits because we keep as much as we need.
Right.
And man, so one of the big things I've seen in the last probably 3 trips is jerk baits have been hot, and
really?
That shadow wrap
Mm-hmm.
and that olive green. I mean, I'm breaking the hooks off on it, and
wow.
they're just pounding it. And actually, David had a jointed Rapala scatter wrap. It has that funny bill on it.
Oh yeah, with the kind of a bow in it. Yeah, I think I've seen those. Yeah.
Yeah. They were crazy for that thing.
Wow.
Just every cast, he's got a fish. Every cast.
Oh.
Now these aren't real big fish. They were all under 14 inches,
mm-hmm.
and probably half of them were throwbacks. But yeah, it's just how long did you want to stay there and catch fish? And they weren't up against the rock, so we were about 10 yards off the rocks,
mm-hmm.
and they were 10 yards out beyond us on the other side of the rock. So they were out maybe 20 yards.
20 yards off the rocks.
Yeah, off the rocks.
Wow.
So we were anchored between the rocks and them. And what was going on was there was a sweeping current coming around the point, and it just sweeping past there like a river.
Wow.
And just casting out in that moving water.
So did you see any bait activity or any shrimp or mullets or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, you could see big white shrimp
mm-hmm.
swim down below the boat, and yeah, lots of bait, lots of birds, pelicans, and gulls too, just diving on.
Just general activity.
And we did stop at a few flocks where they were concentrated. The birds were concentrated. It was just small
mm-hmm.
fish, but Um, we also went over by Christmas Camp Lake or Scout Pass, Comfort Island. We got over there kind of late. It was probably about 10:30, and it was so hot,
Right.
crazy hot, and there wasn't much going on over there. But we did catch a few on some little rigs over there that we stopped at.
So was the water quality pretty good once you moved away from the rocks? Like towards.
So we started at kind of the end of the short rocks, that area.
Mhm.
Water quality wasn't good there. So our idea is just keep going south. Also, salinity wasn't very. I think it was about 6 or 8 at the end of the short rocks. When we got out to where all those fish were, salinity was 12 ppt out there.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
had a little bit better salinity, a little higher salinity, and they were definitely ganged up out there.
Right. So they're in that better quality
But-
water.
The water quality was better. You know, we've really been suffering from this west wind, and
Right.
there was west wind on that day too. So if you went out on the west side of the rocks in, I guess that's Brent Sound, the water quality was not good. But if you came around on the lee side of the rocks, it definitely
It
improved.
stayed better. Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
So that's good to know. So yeah, I guess those jerk baits imitate a shrimp really well, and that would be why the trout would like those jerk baits, I would think.
Yeah,
way that
and
they-
I tried both twitch baits, especially the Corky, the Muradyne,
Mhm.
small one, and I didn't get much response on that. They really wanted that, the jerk bait that gives you a heartbeat.
Right.
And actually, when I was out at Calumet Island out there, again, same thing. There was just, every cast on a jerk bait, we only had 4 inches of water clarity because of the bad west wind,
Right.
and they were still hammering on it.
That's interesting because I usually
Yeah,
my success goes down with the hard baits when the water's dirty, but I guess they can hear it, they can feel that vibration. So, and if they key in on that type of bait action, then it works.
And I think if they're thick enough, if
Right.
the feeding shoals are thick enough, they're going to be smashing anything that they
Right.
hear.
You're gonna cross in front of a more opportunities to cross in front of a fish if there's enough fish in that area. Right. Yeah, that's good to know. Looks like we're gonna need to take a trip out to Hopedale and run around there, see what I can catch. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get out there on Saturday.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna brave
Rain all the time.
the holiday crowd, huh?
Well, what can I do?
Yeah.
I'm a working man.
Yeah, I heard that. So you just gotta get it when you can, John.
Yeah.
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 Well, all right,
Okay.
bud. Thanks for calling in, man. Good for hearing from you.
Okay.
Later. Well, look, that was a good report from John. Always coming in with the knowledge and the thoughtfulness on the fishing front. So what we talking about? The north winds. Yeah, those north winds are gonna make it interesting. I really think the red fishing is gonna go off with these north winds. It'll dry the marsh out a little bit, drop the water levels in the marsh, and make the redfish really easy to catch. Especially if the water temperature goes down a little bit. The redfish will turn into, monsters in the marsh. Yeah, Gustavo, you need to watch out with that storm coming, man. Get ready. Come visit us in New Orleans or something if it looks like it's going to be too bad. The state? Yeah, they've been talking about all kind of issues with the speckled trout population lately. They had that big article come out in Louisiana Sportsman, I guess a couple months ago now. And I definitely think that they need to take some kind of action. If you just sit still, it's only going to get worse. If the science that everybody's saying is true, and the decline that's really happening, then they need to do something about it. Water temperatures at 85 degrees all day Sunday. Yeah, that's really hot. I think like 75 degrees, 74 degrees, that's like an ideal temperature. So that's like 10 degrees over where it really needs to be. Especially in the fall, when you're talking about fall fishing, 75-degree water is the key. Uh-oh, here we go. We got a little debate going on now. Nate says that the article in Louisiana Sportsman was BS. So you don't believe that that they were leaked, those study results and those numbers? What don't you believe in that article? I definitely think that article, that the study could be true. I don't know if if anglers or fishermen or commercial fishermen or anything have an impact on the fishery, but I think that the loss of habitat was really causing the decline in population. And then we've been having all this fresh water pumping in, like what, 3 out of the last 4 years we opened the spillway. So that means the river's been high for the last few years. So that's diverted fresh water into areas that are usually saltier. And it's impacted the speckled trout spawn and moved them around and stuff like that. So we've definitely had like some negative factors going on that are causing a decline. Oh, it was only for the east side? Well, then I could definitely see why that it's declined over there with all the fresh water that comes through the spillway in the Pearl River nowadays. Any tips for fishing around the spillway? I don't know. Make sure you got a 4x4 truck, a 4-wheel drive. It can get sloppy out there. I don't know. Bounce around those ponds till you find something. Are you talking about fishing on land in the spillway, Cork, miss? Or are you talking about like in a boat? But yeah, if you're fishing around here, yeah, just be careful. Don't get stuck in the mud. And just bounce around, because not all the ponds are created equal. I don't even know what it looks like now. The spillway was open. I have no clue what it looks like now. I've only gone when it's like really dry. It's probably a lot of catfish in there right now, though. Probably the best time to fish it. That reminds me, maybe we should go take a trip out there. The study was taken during the time when the floodgate was open. Oh yeah, so yeah, your results are going to be skewed then if you're trying to sample for speckled trout in areas where they usually are and there's fresh water there. Of course, the trout are not going to be there, and your numbers are going to be down. But I don't know. I'm still interested to see what comes of it. I don't think they're going to like jump to make any changes without being sure that they're that the numbers are right and that what they're doing is best for the population and the resource. Like, these people are professionals, you know what I mean? They're not. I don't think they're gonna just try to make a knee-jerk reaction, but there's definitely cause for concern if those numbers are accurate, or even if they aren't accurate. I still think we need to make some changes. Yeah, this whole area, it's amazing to me. If you like go back on the time slider, this area right here, this is a picture from 2012. And if you just look at a picture from, if it loads, picture from 2016, it's changed dramatically. And if you go even back further than that, 1991, 1989, look how much land is there. Look how much marsh is in this area. And if you just accelerate to 2016, there's nothing there anymore. So yeah, that's all habitat where speckled trout That's all habitat where speckled trout could grow and spawn, and shrimp could grow, and bait fish, and it's all gone now. So you're gonna lose fish. You're gonna lose biomass carrying capacity if you lose habitat. That's just plain simple explanation. If you don't have nowhere for them to live, they're not gonna survive. Gustavo, he said they need to lower the limit so he can catch a limit. Nah, man, you just need to get out there on a good day. You'll catch a limit. But you're in Florida now. It should be easy to catch a Florida limit, right? Ain't it like 2 fish or something like that? You need to go speckled trout fishing in Florida. I mean, I don't know, Nate. I think you just got to look at you got to look at the raw numbers. I don't think if you read the article is going to be presented to you in the light that the writer or the author wants you to read it in. So if you look at the numbers and just, I don't know, make your own assumptions about it, and then take what the writer is trying to tell you, and factor that into your idea, and then that's the way to do it. Pogie boats and shrimpers do not help with anything. I really think the shrimpers are really detrimental to the whole ecosystem, and then the pogie boats are terrible for the outside, the offshore and stuff like that, when they're killing those big pogies, because that's what all the predator fish eat. Chris Gustavo saying, if you hook a fish in Florida, they call it a limit. You look in the direction of the water in Florida. That's because Florida doesn't have much habitat. Florida is very, like the marsh and the estuaries in Florida are really small, so they don't have much area for fish to spawn and stuff. And then you got like such a big population. There's probably 10 times as many people fishing. Yeah, that's the issue. They released the preliminary data and sensationalized it before they said they had the final data or the accurate readings or whatever. They said there were issues with the tabulation and the calculations and stuff. So you don't really know what the real story is. But then they say that the final data was still being like peer reviewed and sent out to other scientists to check and double check. So I guess it's going to come out eventually, right? We'll just have to wait and see. I think as anglers, we have to be more responsible, though. We can't just rely on wildlife and fisheries to set a limit. We have to not be so greedy when we go. If you can catch a limit, it was leaked, I think. That's what they said. But if you can catch a limit, you don't always have to keep a limit. Like John was saying earlier, he was catching as many fish as he wanted. So you didn't really have to. He showed good self-restraint in not keeping them all. What will make it the final data? I don't know. I guess after it's been like reviewed and double checked by other people, and then they make it final, because they said that there was some error they had made in the info that was released. They said that there was some error that they had miscalculated and didn't account for, or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. It's been a couple months since I read that article. But I guess the data will never be final because it's always changing, right? So this year maybe the population had a downturn, but next year it'll increase. So you just never know. So I guess it just comes out year by year. You gotta keep sampling and keep trying to understand what's going on. Yeah, but there's no Yeah, that's what I think I read. They wanted other scientists, other biologists to review the information and make sure that their methods were proper and their math was right, I think. But yeah, there's basically no commercial fishing on speckled trout in Louisiana. I think to get a commercial speckled trout license, you had to have a gill net license in 1995, and it had to account for like more than 70% of your income in 1990. Like nobody does it anymore. Nobody has a commercial license. So it's pretty much all recreational. I mean, the commercial fishermen for speckled trout are pretty much the guides. And I still don't think there's enough guys to really put a dent in the population. Maybe in a given estuary or area, they might put a little dent, but still nowhere near compared to how many fish are in the millions of fish out there. Man, I wish I could pull up that article. Let's see. Louisiana Sportsman keeps telling me my password is wrong. I need to learn figure out what my password is and log in. I think, Jim, basically what they did is they like went and gill netted around the state or around the area, around the east side of the river or wherever they did it. They gill netted and they counted how many fish they caught, and then they did an estimate. They did an estimate on how many trout are in the waters here. And based on what they gill netted, they came to the conclusion that there weren't as many. The trout are in decline. The population is lower than it's ever been in like ever. I think something like that, or at least 20 years or something like that. But yeah, I think the main reason that it's happening is that we're losing land, we're losing habitat. That's got to be the reason. All right, guys. I'm going to get out of here. We've been on here for an hour. We're losing habitat in the hydrology. The water is changing to where the river's being high every year, is pushing the fish into different areas where traditionally they would spawn. They're not able to spawn in those type of areas anymore because of the fresh water. Even like areas like Lake Pontchartrain where you had trout year round. You had over resident fish that would spawn in the Wrigley's. I'm pretty sure. You had trout that was spawn in Wrigley's. You would be able to catch 10-pound, 6-pound, 8-pound trout in areas like the Wrigley's and Seabrook that aren't there anymore. So those fish are being displaced further out because I think there's more fresh water, and especially in the Pontchartrain and Lake Bourne estuary. But also probably down towards Venice and stuff like that. You're getting so much fresh water that is displacing stuff. But yeah, there's definitely been a downward trend over like the last 10 years, since like 2010, I believe, 29. Yeah, there's definitely been a downturn. Like me personally, I've seen a downturn in Lake Pontchartrain since I guess 2011, 2012. The lake has just gone downhill from there. It's become very seasonal. It's become very, very seasonal in Lake Pontchartrain to where you only get like a very short spring run, and then the fall and winter is pretty good, but not nowhere where it used to be. Not anywhere near where it used to be. Yeah, there was. Yeah, I was reading about that where they said that the bigger trout lay like multiple more than the smaller ones. Exponentially more than the smaller trout. But I don't know, guys. This is a question for like maybe we can get like some real experts on or something like that. We can go and talk to some real people and really get some real answers. Because I don't know, everything I'm doing is just speculating and based off of that one little article I read in Louisiana Sportsman. So maybe I can dig in and research this stuff a little more and see what's the real reasoning behind it. I can talk about that. I'm interested because I would like to catch a big trout one of these days. I still haven't caught one over like 4 pounds. I've definitely hooked a few, but I've never landed one. So maybe I'll go do some research and figure out why they ain't growing like they used to. Alright guys, I want to thank y'all for watching, calling, commenting, chatting. We'll be here next week at 8:30. Maybe I'll come up with something good to talk about, something interesting. Something that'll help you catch some fish. But thanks Dan for calling. Thanks John for calling. Thanks Jimbo for hanging out for the whole time. I think there's probably us 3 in here. And I'll see you guys next Wednesday at 8:30. All right, Nate. See y'all next Wednesday at 8:30. We'll talk about something fishing related. I think, oh, by the way, I think I might be, well, I know I'm off Monday. So maybe we'll do like a little impromptu meetup, short notice thing on Monday. We can do some fishing if anybody's down. But I'll catch y'all next week, if not. And hopefully you guys get out to go do some fishing. The weather ain't too bad this weekend. I'll see y'all next Wednesday at 8:30. Peace.